Hey guys, it's Smallmouth Crush. On behalf of Monster Bass, I thought I'd take a moment and talk about this little guy here, spinnerbait time, the Booyah blade. This is a 3/8 ounce. Man, spinnerbaits are so versatile, you can pretty much throw them anywhere you are. I use it a lot up here in the Northeast, and it does put a lot of fish in the boat for me. It's a great bait for largemouth. It works awesome for smallies. Today I'm fishing a river system, and I'm going to be targeting smallmouth bass up along the bank. This is a great place to throw a spinnerbait, although you can throw this in grass, you can throw it around wood, rock, shallow flats. You can get a heavier one, work it a little bit deeper. There's a lot of places you can throw this bait. You can burn it really quick across the top of the water, just below the water column. You can slow roll it, which is a very effective way. You can do a medium retrieve. You can rip it. All kinds of ways to fish this, and I'm going to get up here and explain that to you and hopefully catch a fish or two. All right, guys, I'm going to actually throw this on a 7-foot rod. I like this is actually a fiberglass rod. It's a rod I throw a lot of my square bills on. I prefer a little bit of give in that rod when I'm throwing a spinnerbait. I feel it helps keep those fish pinned a little bit more. You can get away with really throwing on any type of, a medium 7-foot, 7.5, 6.5, whatever you're comfortable with rod. I'm going to throw on a bait caster. I use 12-pound fluorocarbon line. You can go up to 17, 20, depending on the type of cover you're on. So don't be too concerned about that. It's really the conditions that you're facing. Here I'm in somewhat clear water, which is why I'm using willow blades. I'm using a white skirt, so I'm trying to imitate the bait fish that are here. These fish are schooling up on shad. They're pushing them up to the bank that we're going to be fishing. And this is going to be a really key, because if you look at the blades here, what's important about this is it's really almost identical to the size of the bait that these fish are targeting right now, which is real important. That's exactly what this bait's doing. It's a reaction bait. You got some flash, they home in on the flash and they see the skirt, and that's when they bite it. So I'll throw trailers on spinnerbaits and I'll throw trailer hooks, but let me tell you something about this Booyah spinnerbait. You see the way this blade comes down? It's a shorter arm. So those fish will get that hook in their mouth on a regular basis. I have no need to throw a trailer on here. If you wanted to, you could throw some type of grub, a swim bait on the back. There's a lot of different trailers to use for a spinnerbait. But because this is a shorter arm spinnerbait, oftentimes you're not going to get those short strikes. So I'll use a trailer hook a lot, especially when I'm largemouth fishing. But I actually found when I fish for smallmouth, for some reason when they hit a spinnerbait with a trailer hook, I'll oftentimes get that trailer hook in their tongue, and it actually kills the fish. They'll bleed out. It happens quite a bit for me up here in the Northeast especially when I'm burning a spinnerbait. It's nice to have that trailer, but too many times I get them hooked in the tongue, and that's not a good thing for the fish. All right, guys, so as you can see, we got some rock, we have some wood, we have a point up here, we have everything you need to catch a fish on a spinnerbait. So when I'm throwing a spinnerbait, I like to the whole point of this is to cover as much water as quick as possible. So I just keep my foot on the trolling motor here, and I'm just going down the bank. I'm trying to hit any type of visible cover, any areas where I think there'll be some fish. I do see some laydowns here, and all I'm doing here, like this log here, I'm going to try to hit the top of that log, bring it over it, give it a little pop. A lot of times that's when you'll get that strike. Just keep covering water. Nice lay down right there. I'm going to work that spinnerbait over it and through it. Give it some pops. And if I feel there truly is a fish there, I'll make a bunch of casts at different angles to see if we can get that fish to come out. Some of the conditions I really like to throw a spinnerbait, we'll have a little, there's one. That guy came right out of that wood. He's not huge, but it's a fish. The conditions I'm looking for, I do like a little bit of wind. It's fairly calm today, but one thing we have going for us is it's cloudy. And I feel that helps the spinnerbait bite, because oftentimes those fish don't have a lot of time to react under low visibility, such as overcast and wind. Now don't get me wrong, especially in the northern part of the country, in the northeast, there's days, especially for smallmouth, when it's bright sunny out, and I'll be able to burn this bait as quick as possible and get some really nice strikes. Let me just do a quick demonstration. I don't think here's the time and place to burn it, but if I was burning a spinnerbait, I'd make really long casts. As soon as it falls, I'm reeling as fast as I can, and that spinnerbait, you can kind of see that wake right there, is just under the surface, and those fish will come up and grab it. That is a really, really good way to retrieve a spinnerbait at certain times of the year. I know right now these fish are not as active. The water temp's a little bit cooler, so I am going to be slowing it down. All right, what's important is not to work this bait just randomly, aimlessly out there. You want to really pay attention, and you want to incorporate these little twitches, these little pulls, and speed it up. You just don't want to sit there and just randomly cast it and look another direction and just reel. You got to be focused on what this bait's doing down there. Now this bank here, there isn't a whole lot going on, but I see a laydown up here, so I'm actually just going to head right to that laydown. You can see it coming off that rock. It looks like a place where there might be a fish hanging out. I'll fire one up to it. And work that bait around. So if we're going down the bank and I know that these fish are really tight, I'll actually get the boat right up here on the bank and parallel it. Instead of wasting time with that cast, bringing it all the way back to the boat, I'm just going to shoot it up through here, keep my rod out, get that bait right where I want it. Fishing the bait this way it allows me to make sure that my spinnerbait is 100% in the strike zone. All right, here's something cool, guys. So it's dead calm right here. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it with a spinnerbait. I'm working around this wood, but I look around this point, we got a little bit of ripple. That can make all the difference when you should pull out a spinnerbait or not. And so as I round this point, I'm feeling a lot better about the conditions where I'm going to be fishing this. A lot of times with a spinnerbait, the bite is pretty vicious. It'll rip that rod out of your hand. That's what makes fishing a spinnerbait so fun. Here's an ideal spot. I have some good current flow. I have a laydown. I have rock. I have everything you would need for fish to hang out in. We're going to see if we can get one here. There he is. Boy, they fight. They fight. Well, they're getting a little bigger for me. Definitely getting a little bigger. But that fish is hooked great. That's a great hook on that spinnerbait. Puts a nice little smallie in the boat for me. Let's get back out there.
Oh!
Just had a big one. Cameraman even saw that. That was a giant, dude.
What the heck? Oh. That thing was like 4. Sorry, everybody. I had to comment. Monster bass!
All right, I'm going to catch one and I'll end it with the outro. There he is. Got to play that fish. Play it good. That's a good one. Oh, nice. Come here, beauty. Okay. The Booyah spinnerbait. Willow blades today. Look at that. Look at that monster bass. Speaking of monster bass, you guys, we got some really great content coming up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And as always, we'll see you on the water. Don't forget, Throw the spinnerbait.